if you wanted to be able to use the iMac and at the same time present Google Slideshow, for example. So to start off, I'm going to go up to this nice little monitor that shows up. And instead of mirroring the iMac, which is what I'm doing now, I'm going to say use as separate display. All right. And on my remote view, what happened is it now shows that the projector is a separate display. If you were in the classroom, what would happen is the projector would seem to just show the background. So usually what teachers say is, oh my God, the projector only shows the background. And when you're in this world, if you drag your mouse off the left of the screen, it just shows up now on the projector. So what is in this remote view, a nice clear box to the left of my screen, in the classroom is actually behind you. So that's a much more confusing transition. Let me show you a few other settings we can get to just so that, oops, I did not want to click on that. If you click on the settings, the system preferences, and go to displays, arrangement is where the mirroring is turned on and off with that mirror displays check mark. And then it shows you, here's my iMac screen. You can see it's much bigger than the projector. Now that probably is backwards in your mind because the projector is huge, but the projector is actually much lower resolution. So in terms of how many actual pixels, how many dots are there, the projector is this small thing. And I've got it in the upper left. So if I drag my mouse off the top left, it goes over to the projector. I recommend actually moving this depending on where the projector physically is. So let's say the iMac is facing the wall and the projector's to your right. You might want to go ahead and drag this over to the right so that you can keep track of the idea that when you move a window to the right, it will go over onto the projector. And it will always show you the displays settings for both displays when the display panel is open. So like this window you can't make go away until you close the display settings. All right, so now the display settings are closed. Here's my Google Slideshow that I want to show. It looks like all right, here I am just at Google Slides. If I go to present, normally I just click the present button, but what that would do is full screen it on the monitor, which is not what I actually want. So if I click the arrow next to it, you'll see present on another screen. That's actually meant for remote presenting, like using a Chromecast, which is a way to like cast it to a television or a remote device, remote display. But presenter view is what we want. So if you go ahead and click presenter view, what that's going to do is open up a sort of remote control window and then a presentation window. And now, if I remember that my projector is on my right, if I drag this window off the right and look behind me, I can see now that window is up on the projector. If you triple click, it'll just size itself to the window, which is nice. You can also, once it's over there, you can go ahead and click the green button to full screen it. So now it's full screen and taking up that whole projector view. All right, and now with this presenter view on my main iMac, I can control the slides using this menu. So I can say, okay, go to slide 1, next, or previous. But I have a nice control. As a teacher, of course, I could have my Zoom chat or my Google chat up here, or Classroom or Aspen or whatever else I wanted to be doing. So this is a nice way to use just one computer to control two screens, the presentation screen and the computer screen. That's pretty good. All right, when we are all done, it can be a little hard to get out of full screen. Usually the escape key will do it. So escape will bring us out. Oops. Escape, and then that is now its own window. You'll see it's still full screen. So I've got to hit that green button to exit full screen. There we go. Escape didn't do it. I had to sort of hover, click the green button. That admittedly would be quite a pain. Let's just show that again. When it's full screen, remember, you can't really see your mouse here because it's behind you on the screen. So it's pretty awkward. If I click this, it goes there. So if you want to get it back, I mean, one way to do it would be just to turn off mirroring. That's probably easy. The other way is to find that button. Again, That's easy for me with this remote view. That'll be much harder in the classroom. So what you might want to do is actually, if you're done mirroring, you can just go to the settings and say mirror iMac, and then that view is going to leave the screen and it'll just come onto the screen you have. Interestingly, even though I said mirror iMac, it just broke the resolution. So it seems really committed to using the wrong resolution. So I guess you're going to have to get to be friendly with this display settings. Displays, optimize for iMac, and that's what you want. I would encourage you, if you're sharing a classroom, please try not to leave the classroom set up in extend mode, because extending mode tends to confuse teachers, especially if they're new to dealing with multiple screens. So it's much nicer to leave it optimized for the iMac. That's the best setting in terms of just being clear and easy to understand in that mirroring setting. All right.